So, all right. So, moving now from Reasonable Doubt to the Blueprint, right? So, kicking things off with The Ruler's Back. Here, Jay's paying tribute to the Slick Rick song of the same name from the excellent album, Great Adventures of Slick Rick, masterpiece in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love how he starts each of his two verses with two bars and more from the same song. I love the black exploitation vibe of the song. It's produced by Bink with these wah wah guitars and strings in the background. Those horns that show up at the hook, though, add a royal, grandiose feel to the song, though. So in a way, it's kind of like his take on like what the original song was, right? I just love the idea, like this is like the King of New York. I'm returned to take over the rap game, and I just love that, just as an opening track, though, he just proven again, like he even missed a step, like he just kind of come back, you know what I mean, like just doing his thing, just as if nothing happened. So great, fantastic way to open this album off. Ricardo, I know this is one of your favorites, so yeah, thoughts on Rulers Back.
Right. So quick Ricardo Medina trivia. My namesake is Slick Rick. That's where I got my name from because of that. Right. I had
Okay.
had a little toy as a kid called Doggy Fresh. Yes. So yeah.
uh right.
Right.
Okay, I see where you get
Anyway,
it. Yeah.
so no, love this track. I mean, great opening to the album. Just great lyrics. It just trumpets. Can't go wrong with that. Just really good start to the album as I will would. I mean, and again, heavy rotation for me. True heavy rotation. Great opening to the album.
Right. Mike Wise, Rulers Back.
Yeah, this is perfect intro music. This is Jay Z just like laying down the gauntlet, just making a statement of who he is and where he is and where he stands in the game. Um, I felt like after this, everybody had to have an intro with horns in it. So that's to
Yeah,
tell you
Mm.
yeah,
that's to tell you how trend
Oh,
setting this shit was.
I
Lyrically top of his game, wordplay galore. Just there's just Jay Z at the peak of his powers, just like coasting on everybody. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah, that's
dope,
exactly what he's doing.
incredible way to start the album.
Agreed. Doughboy, Rulers Back.
yeah. Um, After the last track on the Dynasty album, Jay-Z hit a stride. When Jay-Z hit the studio to record this album, he was at his pinnacle. And it shows in the first track.
Yes.
The, this is him basically go, going in and showing people, yo, I am doing this for nearly 10 years. Put some respect on my name. And sorry.
Right. So we keep it with Kanye West for the following two tracks, right? So these will be Takeover and Izzo Hover, right? So
Mm.
Takeover. So quick history, right? Because I got to this album fairly late, I didn't even I just used to hear like through the net and all that about the whole Jay-Z and Nas beef now.
Mm.
But I think it was already time when Nas dropped Stillmatic now, you know what I mean? When the single Got Yourself came in,
right.
and I took notice. And then I heard Eater afterwards, like, probably just like downloaded and understood. It's like, oh, okay, this thing is real now. So by the
Yeah.
time I jump into Blueprint itself, that's what I heard take over, right? And then afterwards, a little bit later on, that the second verse was aimed at Prodigy of Mob Deep. A lot of details that went on with that, right? Some drama, right? But just get the obvious out of the way though. This is one of Kanye West's greatest beats though. Like, who would have thought like a sample from the Doors that and then
Mhm.
the guitars now
Yeah.
would I make for one of the most aggressive diss track beats ever made, Dread. And I don't think people knew where that sample came from, where the guitar and guitars came from, but it just sounds so grimy, though, and like it have like a almost kind of a headbanging kind of rock vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Jay Z goes
Do, do,
in
do,
on
do,
this
do.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
doom. Yeah. I love how, like he's not being overly aggressive, like, like a Biggie on Who Shot You or a Cannabis on Second Round KO, right? He's more like, I sold more records than you, I have more platinum albums than you. With Prodigy, he was a ballerina, I seen the pictures, but actually he was just like Michael Jackson. Nas had the worst verse on Uchiwali, which is kind of sort of true.
Yeah,
It's funny
it's a
though
good line.
because I remember there was a version of that song on radio where his verse wasn't even there.
Yeah, they cut it. Yeah.
Yeah, they cut out it was just
Pause.
Braveheart's there. You know what I mean? That was rough, right? The you know who did you know what to do you who sorry you know who did you know what to you know who, let's keep that between me and you. Like it's only years later I realized, oh, that's Nas like first baby mama he taking shots at, right? That third verse, which is aimed at Nas too, is nothing short of brutal, but it's one of those verses like when you hear it now, it's kind of slump back and you see the big cha boy, like he just
Yeah.
hit them with all the L's that Nas taking the career, he just hitting them though. Is
Yeah.
when he mentioned, you know, the album run that he had up, boy, I was like, wow.
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah.
Almost.
God, boy. God, boy. It's horrible though, right? And then you know the quotables galore.
And then we heard can we make the album, and he responded with that's so lame.
You lay.
Yeah.
You know, reference to David Bowie's theme, right? I love that, right? Quotables galore, boy. You know, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song, and you ain't get a coin, you was getting fucked in. I know who I paid God, Searchlight Publishing. Jeez, boy, like you saying, oh, it's like them give you the dead president sample, you know, like you didn't even have anything to say about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was just a painful listen though. But you know, we know that G and Nas squashed the beef. You know, they collaborated on Black Republicans,
Right.
on, you know, Hip Hop Is Dead, great song, Success, on American Gangster, and Sorry Not Sorry, which is a song I really don't care for, off of DJ Khaled's new album, right? As for Izzo, Hova, classic tune from G, smash hit, you know what I mean? Just not much more I can say about that. But that beat though, you know what I mean? And you know, it's just amazing how Kanye, you know, straight from the soul Kanye, you know, was just able to come up with a beat so addictive, you know what I mean? And it's just off of a Jackson 5 sample, and he just made it so bouncy. That video was all over the place. Seeing Beyonce there, I was like, okay, that's cool. And you know, I have reason to believe maybe this is where they first met. I could be wrong, but it really shows how much of a sharp ear he has for music, though. Like just being able to make a beat like this, right? A third verse is my favorite. Basically where he kind of
Yeah.
debunks the idea that, oh, because he rapping about drugs, you should sell it just to make it big. He's
Yeah.
like, no, Hove did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that, right?
Yeah, great line.
They just talk about the harshness of the projects and what he had to go through. And they're saying like, look, I made it out, but you know, I'm not saying you should do the same thing. Don't walk in my shoes, but understand I had to struggle to reach where I reached. So when I brag and say this the anthem, get your hands up. That's all I'm saying, right? So love Takeover, love Izzo, Hova, you know, great beats from Kanye. Kanye just really came to form with both songs, man. Mike Wise, thoughts on Takeover and Izzo?
Yeah, man, take over. Yeah, I agree with you. One of Kanye's best beats. What I will say though is that in the height of the beef, I always had like at that age, I just had Ether over Takeover because I just
Yeah.
understood more of what Nas was saying on Ether because it was just more disrespectful.
Right.
You know, Foxy got you hurt because you kept your face in a purse. Like all this little Taibo, 36 in a Taibo class or whatever.
Right.
Like, that's like anybody could get that and be like, ooh, that's so disrespectful. But in the years following, when you actually research like everything
Yes.
that was going on with Nas and Jay, and it's like, oh, that is what that meant. Oh,
Yeah.
that is what that meant. Oh, that is what that meant. Like, oh my God. Then you realize, yeah, Takeover is the better song. Takeover would hurt Nas more than Ether would hurt Jay.
Yeah.
Because Nas would listen to Takeover and be like, yeah, boy, that really true. You know this kind
You
of
know?
way?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it really feels no way. So yeah, great this record, one of the best diss songs of all time. He actually got some famous rock singer at the time to do the lame fame thing. Which is dope. I find like you just have some big rock star coming in the studio to say lame. I find that was cool.
And Brain.
Yeah, all that shit. Like that's all you want to come in the studio and do, and make some money doing it. That's dope.
Easy money.
Yeah. H3DSO. Well, you know, I saw that song performed. He performed it all over on BET, MTV. So I was a fan of the song even before the video. Then the video dropped. Um, Video was dope. Video just looked like a damn good time. It looked like a nice New York summer. Everybody having a good time. Destiny's Child in the video.
Yeah.
Beanie
Yep,
Man was
yep.
in the video, all kind of thing.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, nobody flying the planes in the buildings yet, right?
Yeah, that was before the planes.
That was
and
before that
It
shit.
just that's just a dope, fun song. Lots of quotables, lots of quotables in the verses. That's when people first singles used to have quotable bars, guys. So everybody listening, like, yeah, you could make commercial shit with dope bars.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So all the young ones who listening now.
You don't have to be too sexy for the trap.
Yeah, you don't have to be way too sexy. So yeah, dope first single. Kanye back to back. Yeah, kill that shit.
Right. Doughboy, thoughts on Takeover and Izzo?
Yeah. Takeover was always my favorite out of the two disses because the way how Jay-Z put it together, it's not just one ass open. It's just like, I'm gonna spank you, I'm gonna spank you, use a bystander, and your ass is getting some too. Compared to Eater, with Nas just try to be disrespectful. Well, was disrespectful. But when you listen to Takeover, you know, like, what people just claim Drake does do. Be sneaky and this year. G was doing that. Basically poking at you to see if you could jump. You had to be in the know to know what he was talking about. Like, when things started to come out, you're like, whoa, that what Jay was talking about, that what Jay was talking about, that what Jay was talking about. So I always did like it because of the beat. Kanye worked magic with the beat. And well, now to Izzo, I like Izzo, but I like the Roots version more. Not against the Kanye version dope, but something about the Roots one that just make it sound more appealing to me. But it's still a dope track.
All right. Ricardo, thoughts on Takeover and Izzo?
Yeah, same opinion as Mike and Do. The track that as a kid you thought, oh shit, Eater way better and it's a much better diss track, but it is all facts. With in the case of Takeover, it's just that is a fact. When you learn, but you don't know. I was 16 at the time, didn't know all that bullshit going down, and then when you learn what going on after, it's like, all right, well, yeah, history kind of validate it in terms of track, beef, history and feuds. Yeah, to me, Takeover ultimately is the superior track, to be honest, in my opinion. But yeah, great track, great beat. It's a really, really great classic from Kanye. For Izzo, yeah, true, great hit and classic. Again, I love the third verse, as they say. Nice when Jesus really coming to his own into the track. It just flows so well. And it, I was raising the pro tracks, Roaches and Rats, Smokers Out Back, Telling Him Mama, so forth. Yeah, classics. True classic. Yeah, love both tracks. True, really, really builds the momentum of the album really well.
Right. So just jump into tracks 4 to 6, right? So next off we have Girls, Girls, Girls from Just Blaze, right? Now, gonna make a controversial statement, right? The first time that I heard this song, I didn't care for it at all. I'll tell you why.
Boo this man.
I'll tell you why. You hearing Just Blaze, and I'm hearing this string music, and I'm like, when I come to a rap song, I want to hear boom bap and jazz, not like lavish string music, though.
Yeah.
But then I listen to it again, and then a few more times, like, oh, that's where they coming from, Dread. And for me, though, this is the one thing I love about this album, though. It was artists stepping out of the comfort zones ever so often, trying new things, Dread. So for a man like Just Blaze to come and say, yeah, this guy do this real lavish, exquisite R&B beat, but I gotta make it sound so smooth that you could rap over it, right? And have a nice little vocal sample in the background. It works. And
Yep.
how G just his approach was just like, I was gonna talk about, oh, I have this chick, and I have this chick, and I have this chick, and I have this chick. So you could tell the man just having fun, and it works. Like he's having a blast here, right? I love how he brought on OGs like Q-Tip and Slick Rick and the late great Biz Markie to come in and sing the hook. And even the hook itself is just catchy and silly, but you know it, right? He was singing it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, like I say, overall, like I just love how different and how distinct it was. It didn't sound like anything you heard before. Like for me personally, I didn't really hear a Jay-Z song like this ever. I didn't hear a Just Blaze song like this ever, in my opinion. And it worked, but just that first time I was just like, wait, what's this? But like it took me a while. It's like, okay, I like this, right? Next off, we have Jigga That Nigga, which was a song that I was introduced to through one of those big CDs that I mentioned at the very beginning of this episode, right? Because apparently this was a single, but I didn't hear it on radio. Maybe it was on radio, but I didn't hear it, right? But anyway, this is first and foremost a party song. It has this kind of summery beach vibe to it, but you could imagine playing it in a club, right?
But I hear
Um,
this on radio. Yeah.
okay, well, I probably did, but not as much as all that, though.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I didn't hear it as much as Gills, and
exactly, yeah. What is noticeable about the song is the "he is I and I am him" reference that Jay makes. You know what I mean, from Snoop Dogg, from What's My Name. Is the typical, be player, pimp, mackin kind of thing. But it works well. I love how just effortlessly and smooth that he is on this, right? And the beat bumps, right? It's very, bouncy and jiggy, so to speak, right? And yeah. And track number 6, You Don't Know.
Yep.
This has
Love
one
this
of my all-time favorite Just Blaze beats. Like every time I hear this beat, I get goosebumps. That dun, 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 dun,
so
dun.
hold on, Ricardo. You beginner rappers, please leave this beat alone. This beat is for pros.
Thank you.
You don't need your booty ass beats, yeah, rhymes on this badass beat.
No. And it's only years later I realized that the vocals in the background aren't from a female singer, but it's from a guy, R&B singer called Bobby Bird. The one thing with Just Blaze, he loves to like pitch shift vocals, right? But all that aside, though, if how the best way I could sum up this song is like, if you all remember Mad Max Fury Road, right? Remember I had that guy who was the guy who had the guitar that was shooting the fire out, right? And he was like right in front, like this truck with like these 4 big speakers.
Mm.
This, like, if you just take that guitarist out, like I love the guitarist, right? But if you just take he out, you just leave the vehicle with the speakers. This is the song I will be blasting, Dread. Like this song is meant to, yeah, you had to just crank that shit up to like 11, Dread. It is so loud and in your face, and it's hustler motivation. All the lines stand out. The second
Yeah.
verse, I love that. That 1 million, 2 million, 3 million,
Yeah.
4. I love that too. The remix with MOP that was on Blueprint 2, fire as well too. And you just kind of tweak the beat a little bit, but I love it though, and this is like the perfect fit for MOP because they just shouted over that song. I love when MOP just get rowdy in a song,
Yeah.
And fun fact though, this was actually meant to be a Nas. This though, I imagine the 1 million, 2 million thing was like a subliminal shot at Nas. I could be wrong, right? But on that though, love the song. One of my favorite songs of the album. One of my favorite songs from Jay-Z. Period. Like, and every so often I would hear it on radio and I'd just be like, turn this music down, turn my music up. No, sorry, turn my music high. Yeah. Love that song. So yes, guys. So thoughts on Girls, 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 Jigga That Nigga, and You Don't Know, Ricardo.
Yeah, girls. Okay, so like you, I don't remember enjoying the song when I first hear it, and here's simple reason: I was hearing it on my television, right? City Audio.
Me too.
It was here,
Yeah,
right?
because
And
I was
then when,
all over BT,
right,
all over.
right. When I hear it on the album itself, that is when it's like, okay, that's when it stick with you. It's like, okay, that makes sense. And you suddenly hear all the little vocals, and it's like, yeah, this is real hard, dude. Like just from a sonic perspective now, it's like, oh, okay, that is why it's working and flowing for me particularly well. And yeah, it's truly excellent for me for what it is. Really great track. Jagger Nigga, great track. It's a track I don't revisit as much as I should, but yeah, it's a great track mostly because it's have another track that comes after. But yeah, this is a nice boppy track that I enjoy. And then you don't know it's a classic. I mean, I could sell ice in the winter, could sell water. Well, there's the hustle track. Great track. It just flows through. There's a great energy, and it just has bombed this all the time. This is again heavy rotation track. Yeah.
Well, quick question. What about the remix?
Yeah, that was a great remix. That was on Blueprint 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I was right. Yeah.
On Blueprint 2.
Yeah. Great remix. It works really well. I was like, oh, it's glad to hear this on the track. And as I say, MOP bring the heat, right? So yeah, classic.
Right. Mike Wise, quick thoughts on Girls, Jigga That Nigga, and You Don't Know.
Yeah, well, Girls. First time I heard that, I was in love with that song because of that beat. It was so crazy. I felt at the time to hearing it. He was clever with like how he was breaking down the different type of girls. I do have a feeling that at some point,
I think there's an Eddie Murphy reference in it.
Yes.
I have a feeling at some
why you
point
treat
that,
me like animal or something like that?
Yeah.
Right? He said it too.
Fufu.
Yeah. I have a feeling that at some point Gen Z gonna discover the song and try to cancel Jay for like a week.
Yeah, well,
Boy.
But nah, this is a dope song. This is one of Just Blaze's best beats. Like as Ricardo said, just sonically how it was mixed and put together.
Yeah.
Dope song. Jigga, that was just, it's like a bouncy club song. It doesn't, to me, it within the confines of the rest of the album, sonically, it does kind of stick out a little bit because it's so bouncy and club friendly. But Jay still has some dope lines on that.
Yeah,
like a lot of quotable lines on that still.
Facts.
That the dude, puffing like Bob Marley, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. He was crazy.
You
on
fucking
that,
up my heart, don't
bother me, dude.
Yeah.
I used to skip this song because of the beat, but when I get into it, I was like, nah, I can't skip this now because the lines on it too dope. Well, next song, You Don't Know, one of Just Blaze's best beats. This is again similar to Rulers Back. This is Jay making a statement of who he is, where he stands in this game. You know what I mean? Quotables galore. Classic song. As much as this is one of Just Blaze's best beats, the reason there is a remix is because Just Blaze felt that he did not flip the sample good enough to his own liking. He was like, I could flip that sample better than that. So that's why
that would explain the intro where you hear the vocals a lot more. I love that intro for part 2. I love that.
Yeah, that set the tone basically, and how Jay was talking about Blueprint 2 is on its way. Like that kind of sets off the anticipation for that. So yeah, dope song. You Don't Know, one of the best songs on the album, in my opinion.
All right, and do thoughts on those 3 songs?
Yeah, well, Girls. I like the original, but I love the remix.
I was gonna bring up whether I prefer the remix or the original, but when I get to that, go on.
Yeah, I love the remix. The remix with Michael Jackson, Diamond Jig. But the original, it have its place, and it was something that me in Form 4 was just happy to be singing. Like, yeah, girls, and that would be shit basically to see. Just bump. So yeah, fair enough. Jigga That Nigga does. I know it was supposed to be a single. It have the single vibe, but again, Jay-Z was just on a different level after Dynasty. That everything was razor sharp when it come to his spitting. So even though that how this was supposed to be the Harlem Shaky song, it have bars. It have bars. So you can't just be like, well, yeah, that is Jay-Z Ichiaya track. Nah, it have bars. And then what's that track you don't know? You Don't Know, to me, is my favorite track on the whole album. Because in the middle of the album, and then you just get hit with that blast, the horns, this vocal
Yes.
sample that oh
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It
Everything
just
just
blasts through, but
gel perfectly, and then Jay-Z just just going in. As Mike said, Jay-Z showing who he is. They, as I say, you have to know what that track really does remind me of when Floyd Mayweather just watching the camera and doing the speed bag. Yeah, I'm that good.
mm, mm.
That what that is to me.
Right. So next three tracks, just jumping through. We have Hola Hovito, right? Which is produced by Timbaland. The funny thing is with this song, right, is that this was the song that plays at the end of the Izzo video. So I did like, all right, well, what's this song? What's this Hola Hovito song, right? I
Mhm.
curious. I waited for this to come on radio. Not hearing it on radio. I say, all right, well, okay, I guess I had to buy the sorry, I guess I had to listen to the album and hear it for myself. Now what I would say, like looking back at it now though, is how distinct, I keep using this word, of a Timberland beat it was though. Like you kind of always associate Timberland with these kind of spacey, glitchy kind of beats. Especially like what you use with Missy and Genuine and stuff like that, and Aaliyah, rest in peace Aaliyah.
Yeah.
But this song so different though. It has a kind of a Latin influence to it too. So it sounds different too, especially how the guitar sound and all that. And I mean, G just is doing his thing on that song, Dread. And then you, of course, he hooked that "Hola Vito," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just fits though. You know what I mean? Just you could tell like they just bounce off each other very, very well. You know what I mean? So yeah, just that, just off that beat alone, right? So dope, dope, dope track. But why this wasn't a single, I don't know. Anyway,
It
moving
was
on,
it
right?
was a single.
Was it dope? I didn't.
Yeah, it was a single. The singles them was um Izzo, Girls this, and four
So, well,
singles
song,
which had
right?
yeah, Songcry.
Song,
Yeah,
right?
that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
4 singles.
They just
Right.
didn't play this much.
Yeah, this didn't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
much
yeah.
play.
Yeah, and I was hoping, I was looking for a video, like shipping me was thinking, oh well, if that video end with the song, so I'm gonna get the next video is gonna be that song, but it didn't happen, right? Whatever. So next off we have Hard to the City, Ain't No Love, right?
Yeah.
This is what I call the trailer song on the album because if you remember American Gangster when it's promoting that movie, the song is playing in the soundtrack, right?
Yep.
And I believe it probably showed up in a few other trailers as well too, especially when it comes to like these grimy urban dramas. You always hear that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
right? But this beat though is one of his all-time greatest, in my opinion. I
Yes.
love it sounds like a updated black exploitation beat. Has a soulful vibe to it though. That hook is phenomenal in my opinion.
Yes.
I love how
Was
it
he named
comes
by
with
Bobby Bland? Bobby Bland was the sample.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the soul claps that come in before the third verse and on the outro though. It just like, again, taking it to church, it's something that we know with
Yeah.
Kanye's music.
Yeah.
Um and I just love the concept of it where it's just like, you know what I mean, I on my hustle while they're mad at me just because I making much this amount of money and I accomplishing all these things. Like I just trying to live my life, I love it's basically the whole more money, more problems approach. You know what I mean, I love that. I love his opening lines where it's like first the fat boys break up. Now every day I wake up,
Break up,
everybody
yeah.
got a problem with Hove. I love that. I love how the second verse he brings in the Fugees as well too. Fugees breaking up. You know what I mean? And I'll just close things off with this, right? I love how he says, Jigga held you down 6 summers, Dread. You know what I mean? That's kind of saying like, look, I doing this thing for a while now, so where's the love, Dread? You know what I mean? So love, 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 love that song.
Yeah.
And last but well, you stick with Kanye again. We have never changed, right?
Yeah.
One which I honestly like first time I listened, I didn't warm up to the first time though, but then afterwards I was like, all right, I feeling is really the soulfulness of it that I love though.
Yeah.
I could tell like this is Kanye, this in like kind of coming into himself now. You know what I mean? Like this is me chopping up soul samples. This is what I do, right? But you could really feel the chemistry between Kanye and G on this. So it's almost like Kanye specifically make this beat for him, though. Thematically, I love how stern G is. It's just like, look, I do, this basically kind of going back to the whole drug dealing days, Dread. But he's talking about the loyalty he has for, his brethren and, staying to the G code, you know what I mean? And like he shows no signs of wanting to leave it, you know what I mean? And for me, like the song itself has this kind of reflective kind of mafioso vibe to like you just watch like the life at times of a hustler, and this is like the song that would play like when the end credits roll, you know what I mean? So overall great track, and you could really tell that it was a smart call bringing in Kanye to Rockefeller in the first place, you know what I mean? So yeah, Ricardo, thoughts on Hula OV2, Heart of the City, and Never Change?
Yeah, this is the trifecta here for me in the album. This
Mhm.
is the height of the album for me. I know it have a couple other tracks that comes later. We love them, yes, but this I find is the kind of the core of the album to me. To be honest, Ola Vito, Heart of the City and Never Change is just meld into each other so well, especially from Heart of the City to Never Change. Is like I just confuse the tracks sometimes. Yeah, that's probably because all the weed, right? And yeah, it's just such a great thing. It was with that famous line, and niggas pray on for my downfall, but every time I hit the ground, I bounce up like wrong ball.
Ball, yeah.
Yes.
In Heart of the City, which is such a great track. Ovito is just a beat. It's just a bop. It starts off great with that bass guitar, and it just builds it from there. And I love it for what it is. And then Never Change. It's just such a great beat by Kanye West. I mean, it's just flowing. It's just soulful, and it is just cool down the section of the album to build into the next four tracks you could see. Yeah, I love them for there. Especially Heart of the City in the and leading into Never Change. Heart of the City is easily one of my favorite tracks on this album.
Yeah, for real. Doughboy, Hula
Yeah.
OV2, Heart of the City, Never Change. Quick thoughts.
Yeah. Well, Hola Hovito is like that my bop, that my party tune. So like when I hear that, yeah, I sing the chorus and stuff because the Timbaland beat's so catchy. The chorus so catchy. And again, Jay-Z now out of the bag. He ain't no slouch. He's sitting on it. So the right mix here for me. What must he go on? Why it wasn't a popping single? Must he because the verses went over people's head and they didn't want to think much, but it was a single. Heart of the City is to me they when can they the Kanye section, right? When Jay-Z like yo Kanye I want them cry. We have people to cry when this shit go and like he deliver because these two tracks is soul tracks. Touch it deep in your body type of soul tracks. Um the the placement of so far everything coincided and everything. So having two Kanye tracks back to back, people might say it wouldn't work, but it worked in this time. Um, Never Change. If that is released now, I would have say it was an Adrian Young track. That how soulful it does sound.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So Kanye like he really put you all into that track. That track have have the soul in it. So can't complain.
Right. All right, so Mike, Hula OV2, Heart of the City, Never Change.
Yeah, Hula Uvito, that's just a banger. I find that's one of Timbaland's most underrated beats. Very overlooked.
Agreed.
Probably because he have like much bigger singles than that. But
Mhm.
still, like dope song. And
Bro,
Jay
if
did his
people
thing
can
on it.
rate freaking AO technology, they're supposed to rate that.
Yeah, exactly.
True, yeah, true. Jay did his thing lyrically on it. Again, this whole album, he was just stunting on, man, just letting you all know who he is, peak of his confidence. The next two songs are like kind of tied for me, like 1A and 1B in terms of my favorites on this album.
Yeah.
Heart of the City, one of Kanye's best ever beats. Jay's in rare form here. Um, Again, same confidence, but he's a little bit more reflective with it. What I will say is one of my favorite two bars on the whole album is when he say, bird ass rappers, I ain't mean to ruffle y'all. I know you're
Y'all,
waiting
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
wings. So it's like how we,
Yeah.
bird, ruffle
Yeah.
feathers, and then they come with wings too. It's like, and
Yeah.
people that really catch that. Again, like people who just say Jay-Z overrated as a lyricist, like I will fling a state property DVD at your face. You are stupid.
State
You do not know
property.
what you are talking.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So, like, yeah, Heart of the City, incredible. Never Change, another great. This is a reflective song as well.
Mhm.
Um, I love like especially that verse where you talk about losing the 92 bricks and
Yeah.
shout out to my Miami and St. Thomas Connect. Never
Mhm.
mention your name. I promise respect. Death before the sun are correct. Like yeah,
Mhm.
Jay was locked in and focused, supremely focused on this album, which
Yeah.
is why the best songs on this in that weekend he did like nine out of these 13 or 12 songs
13.
in like one weekend. Yeah. So he was just
Right.
locked
Wow.
in and focused. Like the
Mm.
Kanye, Just Blaze, and Bink produced tracks that he did that in a weekend. He was just supremely focused. So
Right.
yeah, this as I agree with Ricardo. This 3-track run, especially 8 and 9, yeah, that highlighted the album for me.
Mhm.
Right. Right. So next three we have was kicking things off with song cry, right?
Mhm.
Now, just like Girls, 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 don't get mad at me. First time I heard it, probably premiering 106 or whatever it is, because it was all over 106. Didn't care for it, right? But bringing back the BT thing, it was all over BT. It was on Cetus World, it was on Rhapsody, 106 and Park. It was, yeah,
Cetus
remember
World.
Cetus World? Remember
Man,
that?
bring back Sita's World, yes?
Cetus World.
What from
Wow.
1 to
Yeah.
4 or 1 to 3 p.m. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was probably on Sunday
Wow.
best. Right. I used to live with with BT at that point in time, right? That's what I remember. It was probably on Sunday best 4 we do, right? But yeah, it was all over, right? So didn't expect to hear Jay-Z be this, introspective and talk about relationships. So it's like, okay. But when I really sat down and took in the song, I was like, all right, this hits too. And yeah, it's a song that still hits, it punches in, you got to, you can relate it in some way, shape, or form. Well, basically what he's talking about was just, look, being I with this girl, but this music thing just taking up so much of my time. So I don't have much time for you. Sorry, but gotta get that money. And then now in the third verse, he's like, well, wait, you with some other guy with the jail, you know what I mean? And I like how you just kind of act like, there was these other girls, but oh gosh, I was going to come back to you. You know what I mean? It's funny. But I love the last 4 bars, so because it hits so hard, where he says, they say you can't turn a bad girl good. But once a good
You
girl's
see,
gone bad, she's gone forever.
yeah,
I'll mourn forever. Should I gotta live with the fact that I did you wrong forever?
Mhm.
Punch to the gut, boy. Wow, right? So it's one of those songs, admittedly, that I had to warm up to, boy. But yeah, it's a great song. Just Blaze did this thing once again, doing the R&B thing. But I was like, yeah, this fits too. It fits with the whole depressing vibe of the song. It just totally works, right? Just a match made in heaven as far as the production and lyrics go, right? All I need is a nice little, cool down session now. Bing comes in. I love how upbeat it is. There's a
cool
chipmunk sort of
down.
vibe.
You need you need your spurts picked up
Alright.
after that shit. Dog.
Agreed. It's not a cool down. It's more like picking yourself back, picking your spirits back up. You're right. Yeah. I love how again track sequences is more like, you know what, I was down on the previous track, but here, you know what I mean, picking myself back up, I'm back on my grind. I love the concept of the song where it's like, all right, I just going to take you into like a day in my life trip. I gotta show you, hey, you know when I stepping on the plane, this is what I need. This is my lawyer. This is my crew. You know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff. I forgot that this was the first time just G said, I guess I got my swagger back. I thought that was like I thought the first time he said it was on Otis now with Kanye, right? On the second verse, he interpolates the hook from Tupac's Me and My Girlfriend, that, but he says, all I need in this world is sin is me and my girlfriend, not life for sin, that he says, Tree Bonnie and Clyde. It's like, okay, that's cool. And overall, I just love how upbeat it is. Just like, yeah, this is just me doing my thing, Jen. This is a day in the life, Jen. You're gonna take part in it with me, right? Or again, stunting on people. So like, yeah, the end of the day, you wish you will be, Jen. So I love that, right? And last but not least, with this three track run, Renegade.
Like
And for
four,
me,
boy.
no,
Number four.
it's three, Song Cry and All I Need and Renegade, right? Um,
Yeah.
This to me is the true album highlight for me, Tread, because you're taking two rap heavyweights though, Jay-Z and Eminem. You have
Yeah.
Eminem on the boards, he's doing that dramatic violent stuff that he loves to do. Just that beat alone feels like it was supposed to be for Marshall Mathers LP. Like I don't like in my head I always envision this
Not
as
not
from
really, yeah.
like the tone of it, like the vibe of it. Nah. Like I feel like it's almost like he
Because
wanted
Eminem
something.
was recorded the Slim Shady no the Eminem show at the time. So it
Right.
could
Oh,
be something for that.
right. Because that came a year afterwards. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the vibe of it then, almost like he wanted somebody like a Dr. Dre to come in to rap alongside him. So something like a vibe like that, you know what I mean? Similar to like See What You See from the Eminem show, right? But
Yeah.
what makes it work though, and is the lyrics. So like lyrically, you could like write an entire case study on this thread because JNM just basically kind of telling the critics, hey, this is why we rap about what we rap about. And it's kind of showing how the media kind of frames them as like negative influences on the youth, right? So Jay raps about his beginnings in the ghetto and why he sold drugs and all that kind of stuff. But the same people who want to hate on his music won't last a day in the surroundings where he lived in and survived, right? But to me, M is the standout here, Trey, because he righted over the controversy from the Marshall Mathers LB. I love how he just kind of addressed the critics in this kind of calculated, kind of straightforward way. He will throw like a jab or two, a middle finger or two ever so often the haters, right? But like to the untrained eye, he may come off like a smart ass, but like when you really sit down and listen to what he's saying, Trey, it make a lot of sense now because what he's saying in a nutshell is like he's basically kind of taking the hypocrisy of the American household, is throwing it back in the parents' faces. Like, hey, the reason why I'm this way is because of you. You know what I mean? So you could debate that as much as you want to. You may say Eminem is wrong here, but I think that he's absolutely right here because, as far as his influence as musical, yeah, he was public enemy number one when it comes to that, right? So not much more I could say. Love this song. For me, best song on the album, just from a lyrical perspective. Like you could just like dissect and analyze the song for days. Just so much detail into the song. Love this, right? So Likewise, thoughts on Song Cry, All I Need, and Renegade.
Song Cry again. This is a Just Blaze highlight for me. This is one of his best beats, probably a top 10 Just Blaze beat. Um, what I will say, because of how Jay is basically talking about a breakup, but still trying to preserve his masculinity. Song
Yes,
Cry is
especially in that in
Song
that
Cry.
this way.
Song Cry is the song Drake has been trying to make his whole career.
I know, right?
And that is the most factual statement I have said here tonight. That this is exactly what Drake wants to do. Song Cry. That is it. Great song, love the beat, everything. All I need is like when you look to go and hit the club after a bad breakup. That's just how it feels to me. But again, similar to Ola Jovito, I like H3 is always a fun song, but lots of quotable bars here. The man was like rapping his ass off, you know. And yeah, Renegade is a classic song. Two heavyweights going at it lyrically. Um, I know people that say M got J. I kind of see it as more even, although I could understand why people say that. I feel like because even though they were at the top of the game, they were they had similar audiences but different audiences at the same time,
Right.
and definitely different backgrounds. So you would hear Jay talking about where he comes from, why he raps about the things he raps about, and then M obviously going through a lot of criticism of his content. I feel like he decided to attack the people that were criticizing him the same way you would attack a rapper in a diss song. Like he was calculated about, okay, let's talk about these parents who criticize me. Too bad you couldn't do good at marriage. And he just started like pick away at people in a
Yeah.
very calculated, mature way. This is like mature Eminem. So yeah, classic song, one of the best songs all time if you're talking about, putting two MCs on the same track with each other. Yeah.
Right. Ricardo, Song Cry, All I Need, Renegade. thoughts?
Yeah, Songcry was. I was actually surprised that it was released. It's like, oh, you decided to release Songcry, but yeah, it makes sense. Again, girls need a track too, right? But yeah, this was a great, love slash breakup song. Pretty great for what it was. It does flow and work really, really well. Um, all I Need is a track that I remember loving back then, and it doesn't hold up as well for me now, but I really still really like it and listen to it. It has a lot of great lyrics and moments in it. When your dumps do on the D8 steps, where they do PP on the steps or something like that. That was good lines. I really enjoyed for what it is. And then Renegade was like a complete shock. This is the kind of the cherry on top of the album, in my opinion. Not the core of it. Right, core of it is 9 and 8 and 9. But this is the cherry on top. Is that you get a big MC, one of the biggest rapper in the world, if not the biggest at the time, and they just blow it away together. And I could. There's one of the rare examples of, if you get me drunk enough, I could sing Eminem's lyrics in some karaoke bar or something like that, right? It's
All right, okay.
truly a classic.
Props, Ricardo. Props.
Well, you need at least 6 tag, right? So, but no, I absolutely love this track for what it is. Eminem is top of his form. Great lines, great moments. And that's for what it is. Yeah, that's up to there. So yeah.
All right. Doughboy, quick thoughts on Song Cry, All I Need, and Renegade.
Song Cry, as Mike put it, that was Jay-Z gave me a breakup song, but trying to protect his masculinity. And it works to me. I like it. I like the song. Plus two, it was my girlfriend in school at the time. Favorite song. Don't know why. I don't know what message she was trying to send me, but that was your favorite song on the album. Um, then well, it's in other track.
All I Need. All I Need.
All I Need. Yeah, track 11.
Yeah, all I need is a dope song. I'm glad nobody here pick up on why I love All I Need. Jay-Z said Mother Continent.
Yes. When I heard it again, I was like, oh, yes, he said that. I was like, what? You probably heard that from some, Rasta fellow, some Jamaican or something like that.
None of Jamaican don't cuss like that. Is that
No,
Chile?
no, I
He had to
know.
be a wrong at
That's
Chile,
actually line.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. To be fair, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, Big Pimpin, he was Jordan.
Yeah. So he must be here and like, yo, I'm gonna use that in a rhyme. So all I need gets props just to having that word in it. But he's still spazzing it. And the sample and the beat was dope. Yeah.
Yeah. It's catchy as hell though.
Yeah, catchy as hell. And then
Shout out to Bink.
yeah, shout out to Big.
Yeah.
And then Eminem just throw the black cloaks over him and Jay, turn off the lights.
Yeah, boy.
Go in the booth, pull out a sickle, and, and just kill shit. Kill shit. Yeah, two of them just up like Grim Reapers and kill shit. Because the beat, people will say M had an advantage because he made the beat and he already wanted to be on the beat. But Jay-Z hold his own on the track. Jay-Z hold his own. Why people will say that Jay-Z, I could understand why people say Jay-Z gets smoke, but I can't see why they say Jay-Z gets smoke on the track. Because again, it was two different sides of a coin. Two men that big right now, and the past coming back to at them. Well, one past and one
present.
Well, yeah. With because with the whole Marshall Matters LP and how they saying he destroying youths, white America. So again, both of them just feed off the negative that was around them at that time and kick ass. And Track was perfect.
Agreed. So last track last. So what I mean is that I was doing like the one, then one, two, then three, right?
Yes.
So the last track actually is beat up. Well, you have that one song, and then there's two hidden tracks there,
Yeah,
right?
the
But
two bonus tracks, right?
yeah, but if
I
you like
had
one
to
spot,
fast forward to like 3 minutes. For it
yeah,
to
Yeah.
fire.
boy, yeah,
That's dumb.
yeah. Which was that thing I didn't like about albums back in the
I
day, but
I
that
didn't I
was the
didn't
thing.
know that. I didn't know that at all. Only on okay, so I used to put it in Winamp. Anybody remember that? Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
The
I
only
used
reason
to
I
rock that.
but I used to so I rep it for a friend in school, and then I remember seeing waveform in the track. I was like, wait, where's all this extra time? And I see waveform. I was like, wait, have an extra track? Holy shit! And it's a hard track. He's like, well, what? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this could be like a like a three-part closer, right? So we kick things off with Blueprint, Mama Love Me. Bing comes in for a smooth, soulful, emotionally driven song. This would have just made for like a perfect closing track. Like if like nothing else, came after that, the CD stop spinning in your Discman, this would have been the perfect way to end things off though. I love how basically Jay is just like acknowledging everyone, even his dad who left at age 11, I believe it was, right? Who contributed to his upbringing. The Mama Love Me, Pop Left Me bar is so poignant and so powerful, though. It's one of those lines that just stick with you. You read for days on end, right? The song as a whole is just so bittersweet, though, and you can kind of hear the pain and joy in his voice, though. You read sometimes at the same time, right? So, yeah, I mean, this would have been like a great way just to end the album off period, right? But we get two more songs after that, right? So we get Breathe Easy, Lyrical Exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And how I frame this, well, Mike, you could, agree or disagree, right? This is a song by a rapper for rappers, right? So this is where he's talking about his rap skills, like compared his
Yeah.
ability to memorize his rhymes for long periods of time, right? Sometimes without even writing them down to that of, exercise, like strenuous exercise. Just Blaze's beat fits the vibe of the song perfectly, with this intense piano-driven beat. It's like you could like run a sprint to the song, basically,
Mhm.
right? I love how in the intro he says, I'm the all-time heavyweight champion of floors. I'm leading the league in at least 6 statistical categories right now, right? I just love how he just making these exercise and training references in both verses. So you talk about I keep jacks jumping to the 6 sets like a personal trainer. I teach cokes to stretch. I pump in rock sweats, all white trainers. They get those Billy Blanks. I show you niggas with penis, right? Um, and just all these references to like exercise and training and all that kind of stuff, right? So overall, fantastic concept, fantastic song, short, sweet, to the point. And imagine like millions of rappers probably heard this song, just get inspired to improve their flows and their writing, and most importantly, the breath control. You know what I mean? So love this song. And then we close things off properly now with Girls Part 2, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, this is a beat that I kind of enjoy
Mm.
more a bit than Just Blaze's one. Why? Because it's just so soulful, Shred. Like you could just kind of rock this. How it kind of just takes me back to like Sunday, we like listening to Radio 97.
Say it correctly. Michael Jackson
Michael
had the
Jackson.
sauce on it.
Yes, he did, right? Yeah, so you just kind of rock back and you just vibe to this song. Just the beat is just so smooth, so soulful, right? But I love how basically it's like taking the original one now, but kind of tweaking it a bit there. So basically he's not like rattling off a bunch of girls that he know, sorry, that he did there. He just kind of mentioned two girls basically, but like each girl get like the own verse, and then the last verse he just mentioned he just want this sudden type chick basically, right? So he just spent like a whole verse just kind of talking about each girl and what he like about them and what he don't like, right? And all that kind of stuff. It's just as nonchalant and humorous and playful as the first one, right? But it's just that beat is just so smooth and soulful and laid back though. So I'm not gonna be the one to say, oh well, this beat is, but like Kanye's beat is way better than Just Blaze. I think that they both are great, but they work for different reasons and
No,
different
it
vibes
just
basically.
what you palette now.
Yeah,
Just what
exactly,
you palette.
exactly. Yeah, what you really want. Like, yeah, if you feel it for part two, put on part two. If you feel it for part one, put on part one, right? So yeah, trifecta of songs to close this album off in fine fashion, in my opinion. Mike Weiss, thoughts on Blueprint and Breathe Easy and Girls Part 2?
Yeah, well, I agree with you. Blueprint, Mama Loves Me. Would have, to me, I still see it as the last song because I see the other two as bonus songs anyway. But yeah, I love how we touch a lot of bases, even talking about BD Siegel, trying to give him some game. Yeah, dope beat by Bink, perfect way to, in my opinion, close out the album. Um, and then yeah, lyrical exercise was incredible. That's like some battle rap type of level of scheming he did there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Um,
did that song impact you at all? Like to this like improve your abilities in rap or not?
well, when I heard the song, like I was far away from even beginning to write, so I wouldn't say that's not one of the songs in particular, but it's definitely one I would go back to and listen to as a fan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Though beat by Just Blaze, the inspiration of that song was Jay-Z's engineer, Young Guru, basically telling him, yo, make something for the barbershop debates now.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be
Okay.
defending you in barbershop. So make
Mm.
something for the rappers, you know.
Mm.
And lastly, Girls Part 2. Yeah, dope. I don't really compare that with Part 1 because they're so like dissimilar to me. But yeah,
Yeah, like
it's a
yeah.
nice yeah, but it's a nice fit in touch. Nice remix, dope Kanye beat with MJ vocals. Wow. MJ background vocals.
Yeah,
How incredible is that?
Facto.
Yeah.
yeah. Doughboy, thoughts on Blueprint, Breathe Easy, and Girls Part 2?
Well, Blueprint is the perfect end of song. As they say, the mama love me, pop left me. It's everything that he said is hitting. And that soulful sample, that ooh, like just moving, making the song drip with emotion, and like, you're feeling it, and it just everything sticks together, and I'll see that that was the song that I had to close out the album. It had no other song that I could have choose to close out the album with, but that. Seeing my frame with Mike, I does see that as the last song. The other two songs as bonus songs. Lyrical exercise. When I first heard it, I was automatically shocked. I was like, "Yo, Jay-Z, what you doing here? this is this is real bars." And then
Mm-hmm.
like later on, mm, because I did really love the beat, love the beat. And then when I got into Core Mega, I heard the beat.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes. He rapped over
Core,
it as well.
um,
Oh, sorry, rapped over
no,
a version of it, not the
no,
same beat.
Core Mega, yeah, the same sample, but Core Mega own was before, like Dead
Okay.
Man Walking.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I got into Core Mega and I heard it. And to me, this is the lyrical exercise is something that you had to, like, if you're a rapper, you listen to it and you watch, you understand structure, you understand flow, you understand metaphors, setups, that everything that you need to have in a fucking good rap in that. And they could just understand like, yo, this is what I need to do to be on my shit.
Yeah.
And well, and Gills too. They my favorite one because it's MJ sample, but I have to say like
Yeah,
that,
boy.
right? That
That's
just
sample,
sample
but
that I'm not a one girls guy. Like, yeah, Michael. So just well, say Michael sample. The man went in the studio and sang them joints. It ain't no samples. The Michael version is the one that I like more but still like the original, the one, part one.
Yeah, yeah.
I still love that. But that Michael joint is my shit.
Yeah, I understand. All right, and last but not least, Ricardo, thoughts on Blueprint's lyrical exercise. Sorry, Breathe
Yeah,
Easy and
yeah.
Girls Part 2.
Yeah. Perfect way to wrap down the album. At the time, I thought this was the last track until figuring out stuff 2 extra tracks. Um, but yeah, I absolutely loved it for what it is. I'll say, it just flows so well. It's just a great way to cool down the album, and it is an end of thing. And then I absolutely love Breathe Easy. Great lyrical songs. Like, yeah, just I think this is probably where Nas get the Taibo line from. Like, it's probably this, like something like this. It's like too much exercise reference, and he probably
Right.
make that joke now. But
Mm.
yeah, I absolutely love this song. It really works. It's one of the stronger tracks for me on average, and I really dug it. And then Girls remix. I find myself don't listen to this as much, but I like it a lot still. But I prefer the original for me. But yes, that's how I feel about it.
So, just my closing words, though. I think both Reasonable Doubt and Blueprint are up there. They deserve to be up there as far as his best albums, though. But if I had to pick like a better of the two, just keep in mind they're both great. They're both 5 out of 5s for me, right? I would go with Reasonable Doubt, mainly because of the mafioso direction that it went to, the dark, moody beats, and just the whole idea that we just kind of seeing life through the eyes of this hustler, right? So it's like G, like coming to form now. So he's not like, okay, this multi-million selling superstar, like he was on Blueprint. It was a different mindset, but kind of similar at the same time, right? Um, but that's not me. But at the same time, now I mean, Blueprint was just, again, it was just G at the top of his game, and it was just like him in a different state that he was in from the first album, right? But just on the subject of Blueprint quickly, I just really love how he just kind of stepped out of his musical comfort zones ever so often, but it was still G. He didn't water his style down or anything like that. It was all him. Even on songs like Girls or Song Cry, especially Song Cry where he was really introspective and all that kind of stuff. It was all him. It was just him just kind of saying, yes, I am the shit, right? That's what it is, right? But there was just something just moody and dark about Reasonable Doubt that stuck to me. And for me, like as far as 90s albums go, I mean, at that time nobody did that style of music like he did, right? Like yes, there was, Only Built for Cuban Links before with Raekwon, but here was just something totally different, you know what I mean? So that's my take. But still at the end of the day, both albums are classics, bonafide classics, 5 out of 5s for me. But at the end of the day, if someone were to come to me and ask me which one I prefer, yeah, for me it's reasonable doubt. Ricardo, closing thoughts, which one you prefer, Reasonable Doubt or Blueprint?
Right. So I personally prefer the Blueprint. It's the one that
All right,
sticks with
all
me.
right. Mm-hmm.
It's the one that sticks with me the most. Again, it's probably just because of the age I listened to it to. Sorry to say, probably just the formative time of it, to be honest. But yeah, it's the track. Is every track, literally every track I can remember. Again, if you're pumping a good few stags in there, you could get me just singing them, outer tune, right? Yeah, it is the stuff that really remembers me. I think it's again. I was 16 at the time. It was great album. Yeah, this is the one that sticks with me the most.
All right, nice. All right, Doughboy, closing thoughts. Which of the albums you prefer? If somebody were to ask you which one you prefer, Reasonable Doubt
Mm.
or Blueprint?
Both of these albums are great albums. Both timestamps, different times in Jay-Z's lifetime. If somebody asks me which album I prefer, I prefer Reasonable Doubt. Now,
Nice.
what album would I tell somebody to listen both of them goddamn bitches,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
them shits them will put you on game, and that's the end of that shit.
Nice. Well said, man. And last but not least, Mike Wise, closing thoughts. If somebody were to ask you which of the two is the better, which one would you pick?
Well, I pick one. Uh, lyrically, because I'm a lyrics guy, I would say Reasonable Doubt. I think the production on the Blueprint was better, but for me personally, Reasonable Doubt. Now, if a young fan who not too up on Jay Z's early work, especially, was to come up to me and be like, "What is the first Jay Z album I should listen to?" and they don't necessarily want to like go through the chronological order, I would tell them the Blueprint because I think the Blueprint
Right.
is more
Mm.
representative of who Jay Z eventually became as an artist overall. You know, but two classic albums for me, I would say Reasonable Doubt, though, just slightly edging it, ever so
Yeah, yeah.
slightly.
Yeah, and it's just so amazing though that just in a 5 year span, man, this man put out two albums that are classics, but you really can't. It's really hard to say which one you prefer, because it is both great in for similar and different reasons, man. You know what I mean? And that's just a testament to how great of an MC Jay Z is. You know what I mean? So, not much more I can say
So
about that.
I say it shows how he evolved for the 5 years.
Yes. Yeah, important. Yeah, how he evolved through that 5 year period.
Yeah, it barely have people that could say that shit. It had like very few people with two classic albums, even worse with three. And I I think Jay-Z could make a third classic album if he stay around the right people. He can
Like I
make a
remember seeing how 444 could be his last, but I think he have another classic in him, man. You know?
yeah, another classic in him
Yeah.
because people saying King's Disease is Nas third classic.
Yeah.
It's had to age on me a little bit more.
Which one? 201.
Had to be two.
That'd be
That'd be
two.
That'd be one.
Nas fans starting to turn like J. Cole fans.
Uh, yeah, I hear. But nah. I mean, King's Disease 2 is up there though. But I wouldn't call it classic as yet, man. That's like one of the best of 2021, yeah, but not classic as yet. But in time you'll see, right? So yeah, I mean those were our thoughts on Reasonable Doubt and the Blueprint. I mean both celebrated their anniversaries in 2021, so that's amazing. I mean they will hopefully continue to stand the test of time and just inspire many MCs to just be truthful to themselves and just spit that real, man. So yeah, not much more I could say.